What's up, you guys? Welcome back into iHeartRadio's official wrestling podcast, the Battleground Podcast. And this weekend is a very, very big weekend for All Elite Wrestling. It's a homecoming for our guest today. Swerve Strickland joins us. Swerve, how you doing, sir?
What's going on? Yo.
I mean,
walking around Seattle right now.
It's perfect weather there. Of course, it's a homecoming from you, from being from Tacoma. We're at WrestleDream this Sunday out of Seattle. First things first, let me ask you, how's your hand after the pin attack from Hangman?
I can't show it on camera right now. It's too gruesome. So I'm just going to leave it at that. You'll see. I'm probably going to have it wrapped up this weekend.
Yeah, I think there's some payback coming for the good old
I see it as a badge of honor because I'm an agitator and I got exactly what I wanted out of the man. So
that was very uncharacteristic of him too. So making him break, that's a good psychological tool. That's good.
Yeah, he wanted motivation. He found it.
Absolutely.
He's going to have the fight of his life come Sunday at WrestleDream. And, this is something that's been great for the business. 2023 has been a monster year for wrestling as a whole. Do you see this year as one of the biggest of your career?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Just the amount of, I would say this year for AEW has had a lot of pressure on us, for sure. Just like the fourth year of the very young company that's still striving, doing very great things. And right now, especially with WrestleDream, a very brand new pay-per-view that's being brought to the forefront of the company, and me being one of the marquee matches to sell it at this point, following All In and All Out is pretty big, and Grand Slam on top of that. So right now, this spot is really tough for us. But man, the fans have been supporting really big, and there's a lot of interest in this. Like not too long ago, didn't Tony Khan just come out and say this is the new era of AEW? And I truly believe that. I truly believe we're seeing a whole new regime of like different waves of talent kind of fluctuating into a really big spot. You got your Chris Statlanders and Julia Harts right now, really coming into their own, getting that opportunity on primetime television and pay-per-view title match situations. You got Jay White just jumping ahead as far as like one of the top guys of the company and stuff like that. You're seeing a lot more of the guys that have been on top going into the multi-mans a little bit more now. You're seeing Jericho in that situation. Don Callis is becoming a way more of an importance on the show. You're seeing Christian with the resurgence of a lifetime. Man, like you're just seeing so many, like myself in the Mogul Embassy, Nana making a resurgence, going viral the way he does. You're seeing this. A lot of guys are like really hungry and grasping for those spots, and we're getting them, which doesn't always happen in the wrestling business. It's very unforgiving, and there's a lot of different like loopholes to jump through. You're seeing a lot of these guys get their opportunities and not handed to them, but they're earning them, and you're going to see more. That's a lot to look forward to. And I don't want to jump to 2024 just yet because we still got a lot of meat left on the bone with 2023. But right now, it's a very exciting, very important time for the company. You know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, the last 2 months have been incredible for wrestling. I mean, we were talking before we got on. I haven't even started Heel season 2 because I'm like, I have so much AEW going on right now, I can't focus on anything. But speaking of, recently, All In Wembley, we were not too far away from that, largest show in history. You were in one of the most buzzed about matches. You and Christian took on Darby and Sting, coffin match. What was the highlight of that match for you? And, what was it like being in a ring with Sting and Christian?
Honestly, my highlight, me personally, as the young wrestling fan in me came out of the match a little bit, was me and Christian hitting double spears on Darby and Sting early in the match. I was like, did this just happen? It happened. Like kind of moment. Because I grew up on like the freaking triangle ladder matches, the table TLCs. I grew up watching that, and that's kind of what made me go insane the way I did early on in my wrestling career and stuff like that. But that was probably not the moment that everybody talked about as much in that match, But for me, that was so symbolic for me, and my childhood, the inner child was just screaming inside after that. And then I went back into just serious mode. All right, I'm here to win this match. You know,
right. I mean, going back looking at that match, that was a fun match for sure. I mean, obviously it didn't happen. The outcome didn't happen the way that we were hoping it for you to win that night. But you got to think when you're sitting there in front of 80,000 people, like the biggest wrestling show to date, like do nerves kick in for a little bit for Swerve Strickland during that match? Or do you just think of it as this is another match just in a much bigger grand scheme of things?
I look at it as I know how to ride a bike. Now I just got to ride a bike in front of 80,000 people.
There you go.
That's how I got to kind of like situate it. Like I know what I'm doing. I've done this thousands of times in front of like 15 people. I've done it in front of 1,500 people.
Mm-hmm.
Never done it in front of 20,000 people. Never done it in front of 80,000 people. But it's probably the same as doing it in front of 15 people. So, but afterwards, after it was all said and done, the job was done. We're off air. We're off camera. You know, I'm in the back. I can honestly be like, yeah, okay, now I can feel it. But before that, I was just a prize fighter walking to the ring ready for a battle.
Yeah. Again, going back to it, it's probably been one of my favorite shows so far this year that I've seen. So, you know, you continue to get some of the loudest pops whenever AEW travels. And then, of course, now Nana gets pops as well for his dance moves. What do these insane reactions say about your relationship to the audience?
It feels like they are growing with me, and I feel like they're understanding me more too. They're understanding why I'm there, what my purpose is, but also they're at the edge of their seats a little, know what I'm about to do.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
know what I'm about to say. They don't know how I'm about to go about they just don't know. Anything can come about this. I can be happy-go-lucky, or it can turn really, really bad, and somebody gets a center block, or somebody gets this, or it can go. I have such like great range of not just emotion, but probability with this character, and with Nana there, and the Mogul Embassy is always lurking somewhere and stuff like that, you know. And I think that's what's good about a viewer. It's always kind of like tense. It's always a suspense of like, oh no, that's not going to happen, but it could.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and I think that's where the audience is understanding about me more.
And I think last night, even like when Nana was coming down and you just did that, like that alone, just, you know, you turned up the heat a little bit. Like that's what they wanted. And you're like, nope, this is my time. Like that's a perfect example.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, you don't know.
Yeah. Not right now. So, you know, talking about one of your accolades with Keith Lee, Swerve in Our Glory, capture the World Tag Team titles. There was a very can they exist relationship going on. In most situations, there's a blow-off match with that. And we haven't really gotten that yet. Are you still looking over your shoulder for Keith Lee? And would you entertain kind of a one-on-one match down the road with him to kind of settle all that?
I'm still looking for Keith Lee. Where's he been? So, you know,
that's probably the best question to ask you.
I'll settle any score anywhere. It don't matter to me.
You're not really
whenever the fight's ready. Yeah, like it's almost like those fighters in boxing fights are like, just make the fight. Oh, I mean, hey, I'm not the booker. I'm not the guy like controlling the money on this whole thing. Set the fight up. I'll be there. Sure. Of course, I might lose the weigh-in, but I'll be there for the fight.
You're not going to go down without a fight for sure. Speaking of fights, I mean, this Sunday, it's going to be insane. We've got our very first edition of WrestleDream coming live from your home city, your hometown, Seattle, and it's on pay-per-view. Let me ask you this. How important is this match against Hangman in your hometown? And is this a have-to-win situation for you?
I feel like I look at every match as have to win, but this is more of a how can I not win situation for me. You know, I've elevated in such a way that, you know, it's showing on statistics.
You're right.
At this point, you know, no matter how high you go, there's always going to be people are always going to try to raise the ceiling for you not to break through. But my ceiling is my floor at this point. And Hangman is like the perfect person that I needed for that. And I'm also the perfect person that Hangman needed to get back in that visual of this for the fans. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh man, like this is something I've never seen from Hangman and all the years, all the matches, all the promos, all the great stories he's been telling. This is still something new for him. And I think that's the beauty of what we're both providing each other.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the interest of the match itself. That's what's selling it. Like, once again, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know which way it's going to turn. You don't know what's going to come out. Now we've seen what is capable of Hangman, I pulled out of him on Wednesday night. Now it's like, okay, what is he? Is that what he's going to have to try to keep that going into WrestleDream? I've already have that. I don't need that.
Yeah.
And like I said, this arena is way more of an enemy than I could ever be too.
Right. So you're looking for the dog in Hangman, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Gotcha. So one of the promo mentions last night, you'd mentioned becoming, the first African-American AEW World Heavyweight Champion. There's obviously a large fan base that supports that. What would it mean to you to become the first African-American AEW World Champ? And what would you bring to the table that maybe the current champ MJF doesn't?
That's already a tough sell in it as it is. I can't bring anything more than MJF because MJF is doing top tier work. Yeah. But what I can do is bring something different. Mm-hmm. I can bring something unique that MJF can't bring. It's not necessarily more, but it's unique in a different lane. Yeah. You know what I mean? What I have been doing, like as far as like the outside media, has already been untapped in any part of pro wrestling. There's never been any pro wrestler inside XXL magazine as an artist himself. You know, one of the few wrestlers that's like red carpeted the Grammys. Mm-hmm. I'm one of the few wrestlers that's actually worked with Grammy winning artists and producers and stuff, you know, like bringing Rick Ross, like doing all these other things, all these, like I was this past weekend, I was in Revolt World with Diddy, then going the following, like couple days later, being in the office with Coach Prime at Colorado, you know, like that's a lot of things I'm doing without a title. Imagine you give me more power. Oh my God. Imagine you give me more of a trophy that I can, you know, how much more I can really rein in. You know, this is already limited sources. Give me the real. Now you're going to give me the apple of Eden. How can I walk through this world with that? That's what the AEW World Championship means to me as an African American male, and that's also very scary for a lot of people too. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of fear in that because there hasn't been one yet. You know, being in the first is always there's a lot more judgment. There's a lot more fear. There's a lot more like waiting for you to fail as well. Mm-hmm. And and I feel like that's what I bring the uniqueness to holding that championship, because I know I won't fail.
Right.
That's a good answer.
Very good answer. Because, I mean, you talk about, like you said, there's a lot of pressure on you. I was there the night that Ron Killings, R-Truth, won the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Very special moment that doesn't get talked about enough, in my opinion.
And, like, I was there, and we've had him on the show talking about that moment, and he was like, when they first told him backstage, hey, you're going over, you're the champ tonight, and he thought they were joking. When they told him, they're like, you are the first African-American NWA World Heavyweight Champion out of all the years. And he's like, that is one of the greatest accomplishments I've ever had in this business.
Yep. And that's just for that accomplishment alone is a Hall of Fame career. Then he went on to do 20 more years after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like feuded and feuded with Cena. Like, you know, like I don't think he gets talked about enough in that world.
Mm-hmm. Right. And he's multifaceted too. He does music. He can do comedy. He can do physical. Like
he's a multi-tool. He's a 5-tool player.
Oh yeah,
you know, he's a 5-tool player.
For sure.
5-tool player.
Absolutely. So I want to go back to something you said last night during your promo that had the internet buzzing, And it was one sentence that you said, "What's a buckshot to a kill shot?" Everybody and their mom started flipping out on social media because you mentioned kill shot. Now, we had a question get submitted to us on social media saying, "I'm sure the answer is no, since that chapter of his career is over. But I'd love to know if you would consider putting on the kill shot mask just one more time." And this is from Bartley Black.
No. I told you these answers would be quick.
Yeah. Well, going back to being all around different medias and stuff, you continue to expand your reach over multimedias. What is coming up for Swerve next in the world of music? Do you have anything you can give us some behind the scenes on?
Oh, dude! Like, I got 2 music videos dropping this weekend. So September 30th is the day of Collision. That's my birthday as well. I have the Work It. Yeah, thank you. I have the Work It music video dropping that day, and both my music videos are produced and directed. The songs and the music videos by Prophet the producer, who won 2 Grammys with Kanye West on the Donda album.
Jeez.
So just those 2 videos, like we shot those 3 days in a row, 3 different venues, all before doing Dynamite that Wednesday. And then I did 2 matches that Wednesday. That's when I kicked AR Fox out of Mogul Embassy, and then later on that night had to face off in an 8-man tag against CM Punk in them. So that was a busy week.
That's a busy week, yeah.
That was a busy day itself. And then then we did a cypher at 3 a.m. in Atlanta. So that's dropping October 2nd. So we have September 30th. Mark this on your calendars. Don't forget it. September 30th, Work It music video by Swerve the Realist, featuring Fireman, who has a lot of writers' credits with Chance the Rapper and Kanye, who's currently in Italy right now working on Kanye's next album.
Holy jeez.
So he's on the video and some cameos in there. So check for that. Then the next night, October 1st, we have These Dreams, followed by WrestleDream's pay-per-view that night. We have These Dreams with Zombie Juice, who's part of the Flatbush Zombies featured in there, Anthony King, who does the AEW wrap-ups every week on social media, and my co-host, Montezi, who just performed for Sammy Guevara at Grand Slam on his entrance. Montezi is on that record as well, produced by Prophet. That drops October 1st, early in the day for WrestleDream, or before WrestleDream. The song is called These Dreams. And then the next day, October 2nd, we drop in the Emmett Freestyle, featuring myself, Anthony King, and Montezi. Just a snippet of another mixtape we're working on. And Emmett stands for Every Move Made, includes the team. That is our little trios when we get together and we form Ultron. So all that's all the stuff you need to be looking forward to. YouTube.com/Swerve City Podcast. Check on that. It's going to be, matter of fact, just subscribe, hit the bell for the notifications, because it's coming your way this weekend.
Absolutely. And I have to say, historically, wrestlers that dabbled in music, it's been really whack. I mean, there's not a lot of good examples of quality music from wrestlers, but you're definitely the exception, just like you are in the ring too. So kudos to you on that.
You only get better getting in the room with better people. Like, so a lot of times, music is it can kill your creativity if it kills your confidence. Mm-hmm. So if you get in there with people that are willing to let you know you're not the best here, you're not the best at this, and you take that on the chin and you build with those guys, you can truly grow and become actually really good at your craft. And that's what I'm working with. I'm working with top level guys in the industry that are literally, truly wanting me to grow and working with me to grow.
That's amazing.
Man, and it's an honor to have you on the show. I know we talked to you last time, and a lot of things have changed since the last time we talked to you. And you know how this show goes on. You come on here, you go on to win gold. Well, you came on last time, you went on to win gold. You went on to win the AEW tag team titles. You come on now, I believe that title above my head is going to be yours within the next year.
I've been staring at this entire interview, and I'm getting hungry.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's that one. I'm going to say it's this one that's right here.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of want yours too.
Yeah.
I will gladly hand mine over to you. I will mail it to you, and you can have it. It is yours.
Yes, sir.
Your name there, and it's all yours. Well, Swerve, It is an honor to have you on the show. We're looking forward to you bringing the dog out and Hangman Page. And then after Sunday night on WrestleDream, we're going to hear, and your winner is Swerve Strickland. And then we could see Nana do his dance.
Maybe if I allow it.
Yeah.
Maybe. If he's good, I'll allow it. But it is my city, so maybe I'll treat you. I don't know yet.